What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Swanky Disc Reviews. Today we are in an interesting locale. We are not out on the course like we normally are. Today we are reviewing a disc golf adjacent product. None of these discs will get reviewed today, but rather, you've probably guessed, the thing that is holding them. Our friends over at Hyzer Disc Racks sent us these racks to try out, to review, and to tell you guys all about them. So we are going to do that today. We're going to give you guys our honest review here. And again, this is a little bit of a different format. We're normally reviewing discs or bags. We're going to handle this review much like we do a bag review. We're going to rate these racks on a scale, on several different scales. So first, we are going to talk about the quality. We're going to talk about the quality of the build, the quality of the overall product, everything included here, how it's made, how it's going to hold up, how it fits together. We are going to talk about the ease of the process. I want to talk about, like, is this a pain to put together like IKEA? Did it arrive already built? Like, how easy is this for the average person to get in and get done? The third thing we're going to talk about is storage. That's why you're buying this. So it's very important that we discuss the storage level, what these racks can hold, and how that compares to some other products out there. Fourthly, we're going to talk about aesthetics. Of course, you can already kind of guess how this is going to rate on the aesthetics scale as opposed to everything else, but we're going to talk about style. That's something we talk about in bags as well. Like, style is really important when you're talking about a premium product like this. So we're going to talk about that. And then finally, we're going to talk about value for money, which is potentially our most important scale that we're going to rate this on. And the bags get rated on that scale as well. So we're going to talk about value for money. That is certainly going to play a major role in those of you who decide to buy something like this and those who skip. So yeah, let's jump into the first one. All right, so the first is the quality of the build, and you can tell just right off the bat that these are solid wood, and they are finished with some sort of lacquer, I believe. These are made in the U.S., up in the northern U.S., I believe it's Michigan. And the quality of the product is really, really great. They're sturdy. This isn't like, your typical like particle board that you would get from Wayfair or IKEA, right? Like, this is solid. I think it's birch. He was saying. So we've got really quality wood here, and it's all finished, so it's going to sit well wherever you would like to have it. I do have it in a temperature controlled area, and I imagine that would be ideal, but I'm not sure. I'm sure it would do fine in like a garage type area or something. But again, I'm not positive on that. I prefer to keep my discs temperature controlled as well, so I knew I was going to have it in a temperature controlled area. But there's really not much to talk about with the quality of the build here. It is. I mean, I'm not a woodworker, so who am I to judge the quality of this build? I think it's great as far as the amount of wood used here. I think is key as well, because we have plenty of access to the discs, and the discs this is an accent piece, right? It's used to hold the main event, which is your plastic. So we have easy access, so it's not like wood was overused here. And even in the parts of the rack that hold the discs themselves, we don't have an overuse, anything going on. It's just like we only have the wood that's needed, and I really appreciate that minimalist while still being like a beautiful accent piece. So we're going to go ahead and give this a 10 out of 10 on quality of build. There's nothing that I personally can say that is going to knock it. It's handmade, USA, solid wood. Like, what do you want? It's finished, and I don't know what he could possibly do to make this better. So, and I noticed like absolutely no issues with the stacking. We'll get into the stacking later, but everything stacked great. All the parts arrived in like great condition. There's no chipping. Everything is seamless. Like, the quality control is phenomenal. phenomenal. There's really no issues at all here. So with that said, 10 out of 10 on quality of build. That's the easiest ranking I could ever give to a product, is this one right here. So let's jump into next is ease of use, and not ease of use, ease to put together, because when it arrives, it's not assembled. And so I expected that, because you're not going to ship a product looking like this, right? Now, this is not an IKEA piece, so each rack there's 4 racks here, and then this topper is separate. So each rack is made up of 7 individual wood pieces. We have the 2 ends. We have the 2 pieces like this that hold the disc themselves. We have the front plate. We have the back lid, not this, that's separate, but we have a back lid piece. You can get a topper to go on it separate. You actually don't need it. And then every piece comes with a divider. So that's the 7 wood pieces that every rack comes with. And then I think there were 4 screws and 4 screw inserts. So, and it came with an Allen wrench to get that done. You put a screw in just a couple places. Like I think I screwed in the plate on both sides. And then I screwed in the back plate on both sides. And then these slide in, and I'll show you how that works, but these slide in. The pieces of wood that hold the discs themselves, they slide into place, so that's really nice. They have little fittings on the sides, and then this also slides into place, so that makes it easy for you to remove in the future. So, I mean, it really was not a pain. It's not a perfect score. It's not like everything just like slid into place, no screws. But honestly, you probably want at least a couple screws to like make sure that the thing is going to be sturdy. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 on ease of assembly. The first one took me about 5 minutes to assemble, and then after that it was like 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, because I knew what I was doing, right? So it is super easy. Realistically, it's unbelievably easy. Okay, next, let's talk about storage. So on the site, I believe it says they hold 50 to 60 discs per rack, and I have found that to be about accurate. My most full rack right now is this center one. This is Discraft, and this is Discmania. That's how I have this rack separated. I have 50 discs on this rack right now, and I have a mix of putters, mids, and drivers, and I could probably get 2 more here and 3 more here, making this one fit about 55. So if it was all drivers, easy 60. If it was all putters, probably more like 50. So you know how it goes. The short end of the range is putters, and the long end of the range is drivers. That's just how storage works for bags as well. So 50 to 60 per rack, and so the rack in total has a minimum of 200 and a maximum of 240. I believe I'm doing my math right. But on average, it's probably going to hold the whole rack 220 discs. 4 racks on average, 220 discs, which is great, and it beats my previous storage by a decent margin. I was using like a PVC rack that I built, and it was about 5 racks high, so it was similar in height, probably not quite as high. 5 racks probably got up to here, and it was holding like 150 or something. It was like this wide and this tall and way uglier. But we'll get to style in a minute. Okay, other things that play into storage. Obviously, this top piece is extra, but even if you don't have the top piece, if you took the top piece off, this back rack actually has a shelf. So you could still do what I'm doing up here, which is like lining it with discs. And then there's these hooks on the sides for anything. I mean, you can take a mini and hook it there. This one doesn't really have a lip, but if you had a lip, you could hang it there. I imagine you could just put a disc there too. Yeah, you can just like hang discs on the side. That's actually pretty cool. Or you could hang hats, or you could hang flight towels, or whatever you wanted to do. You could hang those there. That's pretty cool, and definitely adds to the overall storage of the unit. And then the dividers have to be included in the storage conversation, because it helps, especially my mental. Like, these are all divided very carefully. Like, top rack is like This is my backups for my bag. These are Swanky tournament discs. These are Discmania, Discraft, and then some other valuable throwers that I have down here. These discs were in my backup bag for a while. Like, just I have them separated out very carefully, and I really appreciate the dividers being included. It helps my mental. I know where everything is all the time, which is awesome. So overall in storage, I think I'm gonna give this an 8.5 out of 10 in storage. There are potentially a few other additional compartments, maybe some hooks on the sides would have been nice, or additional places that they could have put storage. But as far as the main, like getting the main thing right, they do that with having plenty of disk space and plenty of space again for your hand to reach in and grab, which is also part of storage. Just accessibility of everything, as far as efficiency of the space used, getting this many discs with this amount of space taken up is 100% worth it. So I think 8 out of 10 is a fair grade. It's only losing points for like the little additional things that could be, and potentially losing a few points for this top rack not being included in the rack. But again, you can buy that separately. So there you go. All right, last two rankings, and these two are where I think the Hyzer disc rack kind of knocks it out of the park. We're going to talk about first. So the first of these last two is style. And of course, I don't even really have to talk about this. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10 because this is the most beautiful, this is bar none, the most beautiful storage method that you can get for your discs. So I don't care what it is out there. You've got other metal options. People use shoe racks from Walmart. I've seen that all over the place. There's people that store them in boxes, but like bar none, this is the most beautiful and aesthetically pleasing way to store your discs. The wood tone is stunning. The logo here, like the way they can imprint your logo onto each front plate, that's just an incredible touch. The way that you can display discs on the top, and even like, I didn't even know you could do this, but like, the way you can just take a disc and hang it there, like I didn't know you could do that until I was filming this video. Like, that is so cool. I love that. So the beauty, 10 out of 10, that is an easy rating to give this product. And so finally, we're going to talk about value for money. And I think this is really where a review is valuable. So the price for the racks themselves, the four racks combined, is $3.99. I believe if you buy an individual rack, it's $105. So it's a small savings. It saves you about $20 on the whole price to buy the 4 racks together. Top rack's $45 additionally. And then that's all shipped to your door price wise. And that is expensive. So let's not cut any corners here. $400 for a disc rack is a premium product. The only way that the value for money works out here is if the value that you get for the product equals the money spent, right? So we need $400 of value. And where the value is going to come is those previous categories that I just described to you. Particularly for me, the value comes from the quality. The three categories of quality, aesthetics, and storage. And particularly because there are other ways to store your discs. Like I said, you can store your discs on a shoe rack from Walmart. But the quality and the aesthetics aren't there. And so if you're looking for a premium product, this is, to me, the only premium storage solution for discs. It's the top of the line, the very best of the best. And so if that's what you're looking for, then the value is definitely there. And if that's not what you're looking for, then perhaps it's not, because you can just as easily store your discs on a shoe rack or on a PVC rack. But for me, in my disc golf journey and in making this is my office, in making my office, I wanted the top of the line disk storage solution. I had been looking at Hyzer racks for a long time. And I finally pulled the trigger and made this happen. And I'm so glad I did because they are beautiful and they make my discs look so good. What can I say? So, value for money, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. And that may seem like a harsh ranking. I think it's actually a great ranking. For a $400 product, I think a 7 out of 10 ranking in value for money is about as good as we can do. 10 out of 10 would be getting this product for like $200. 10 out of 10 means every single person watching this should drop what they're doing and go buy it. And that's not true for this product. But it is true for a lot of people. If you are in that category of person that has the $400 to spend to upgrade their storage to the top of the line, to the best of the best, then this is the product for you. So 7 out of 10 I think is fair. I don't know the math. I think it gave it 2 10s, an 8, an 8.5, and a 7. And that, off the top of my head, is too difficult, so I'll drop it right here. But overall, guys, incredible product. And we highly recommend. And we actually have a discount code for Hyzer disc racks. You can use Swanky10 at checkout to get 10% off. So that kind of brings the value for money up to a 7.5 even. So there you go. Be sure to use the link in the description and go check out Hyzer disc racks. Use Swanky10 to get 10% off. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Be sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel to see more content like this. And we'll see you in the next one. Stay swanky.